Listen and practice.
I have a new friend, Nora. We're the same in some ways, but different in other ways. Nora is very outgoing. She likes to be around people. I'm not really outgoing. I'm shy. But we're still good friends. She's also confident. In math class, she always shouts out the answers. She is sometimes right, but sometimes wrong. She doesn't care. She just tries. I like that about her.
Listen and practice.
The new guy in our class, Simon, is interesting to me. He's really good at art. He's creative and loves anime. He wants to be an anime artist someday, but he's also very good at math. He's probably the best student in our class, actually. He gets good grades easily, but he hardly studies. He's becoming a good friend.
Listen and practice.
I work in a coffee shop on weekends, and there's a new girl there. Her name's Kaylee. She's not hardworking at all and gets very impatient with customers. You know, sometimes customers need time to choose their order. Kaylee just looks the other way and taps her fingers like this. She also forgets the customer's orders and makes lots of mistakes. I don't think she'll have this job for very long.
Listen and practice.
It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and suddenly I woke up. I heard a noise. I got out of bed and went slowly downstairs. There was a light on in the living room. I listened carefully. I could hear 2 men speaking very quietly. Burglars, I thought. 2 burglars. Immediately I ran back upstairs and called the police. I was really frightened. Fortunately, the police arrived quickly. They opened the front door and went into the living room. Then they came upstairs to find me. "It's all right now, sir," they explained. "We turned the television off for you."
Listen and practice.
Bacteria and disease. In 1864, a French scientist called Louis Pasteur discovered that bacteria in the air could cause disease. Then he had the idea that you could prevent disease by stopping bacteria getting into the body. A British surgeon called Joseph Lister used Louis Pasteur's idea to make the first antiseptics. Antiseptics were substances that could kill bacteria on tools used in surgery. They could also kill bacteria that make wounds become infected. This stopped many people dying after they had surgery.
Listen and practice.
Human beings are programmed to be afraid of things that can hurt them. Show a baby a picture of a snake or a big poisonous spider, and the baby will show fear. It's in our DNA. We are all afraid of some things, and that's good. But a phobia causes absolute terror, with physical symptoms such as a racing heart, sickness, and panic attacks. Phobias are usually the result of a bad experience. For example, a car crash can cause a fear of driving, but it's often just of ordinary things like balloons or a particular food. Some people are more likely to get phobias than others. It's in their genes. My job is to train people to conquer their phobia. First, we just talk about it and help the patient relax. Then we might show just a picture of their phobia. After that, we sometimes show a movie. And finally, we ask them to touch the object. In this way, phobias can normally be treated in just 3 or 4 sessions.
Listen and practice.
I have a really unusual phobia. It began when I was a little girl. I was staying with my grandmother, and she asked me to go upstairs and get her cardigan sweater. I opened the cabinet and saw this big, dark green sweater with huge black buttons hanging there. I was terrified. I started screaming. My grandmother rushed upstairs and finally managed to calm me down, but from then on, it was a problem. It was the buttons. All buttons made me feel uncomfortable. It's difficult for me to buy clothes. I try to find skirts and pants with just belts and zippers, but it's not easy. About a year ago, a button came off a colleague's jacket at work, and I had a panic attack. I've decided to see a therapist, but I'm embarrassed to say I'm scared of buttons. It sounds silly.
Listen and practice.
When I retire, I'm going to learn Russian. I can already speak French and Spanish, and I want to learn another language. And second, I'm going to learn to drive. It's terrible that I'm 59 and I can't drive. Then I'm going to buy a car and travel all over the world. Also, I'm not going to wear boring clothes anymore. I hate the skirts and blouses I wear every day for school. I'm going to wear jeans and t-shirts all the time. And when I return from my travels, I'm going to write a book and go on TV to talk about it. I'm going to become a TV star.
Listen and practice.
Well, there are a lot of things I can't do. I can't drive a car, but I want to take driving lessons soon. I can't speak French, but I can speak Spanish. My mother's Mexican, and we often go to Mexico to visit her family. My mother's a good cook. She can cook really well, not just Mexican food, all kinds of food. But I can't cook at all. I just love eating. What about sports? Well, I think I'm good at a lot of sports. I can play tennis, and of course I can swim, but I can't ski.
Listen and practice.
Caves. Caves were dark and didn't have windows. They protected people from bad weather and wild animals. The doors were made from animal skins. There was no kitchen or bathroom. Cave people cooked their food on fires. In hot weather, they didn't live in homes at all. They lived and slept outside. In some places where there were no natural caves, people had to dig caves out of the hills.